Hi everybody, today I want to make a video sharing with you the way that I stay organized. I'm a pretty organized person and I'm punctual as well, and these are just some of the things that help me to get things done and to be at places on time and not forget things and pretty much be functional as an adult. I don't actually use a planner. I know planners are like all the rage at the moment and I don't have one at all. I will now show you what I use in place of a planner. I have two calendars in the house, and the one is on the wall, I'll show you that in a minute, and the other is on my computer. Now this is a calendar through our email program, which is called Thunderbird, and this syncs to my iPhone, to Grant's iPhone, and to his computer as well, so we can all see what's going on at the same time. And you can see it's all color coded, so we have a calendar for the boys, a calendar for Grant, for me, for family stuff, for birthdays, for anniversaries. They all just have different colors. And so when we put a new event into there, if anybody puts it in, it will go across all of the calendars. I don't access this calendar on my phone when I'm out and about because I choose not to use my mobile data. I only turn that on rarely to use it. So when I'm out and about, my phone isn't online, so I don't actually access this calendar when I'm out and about. But I'll get to that in a little bit. These are my this week, next week calendars that I made. I just used Reba frames from IKEA, and then I put in strips of scrapbooking paper and letter stickers for the days of the week. So how this works is I have a dry white marker, and each week I'll write this week and fill in what's going on that week. This is Grant's shifts, early, night. This is, I take a medication that I take for 4 weeks, for 3 weeks out of 4, so that just tells me where I am in that. In white, which is a chalk marker, I've written things that repeat every single week, for example tennis and surfing, and putting the bins out, and payday. So what I'll do is I'll look on my calendar and see, gee, what's happening next week. First I'll put in the dates. And then I'll put in Grant's shifts. Early, night, Friday, night, and then night. And then obviously add any events that come up or that I see in the calendar. At the end of this week, obviously I'll erase this week, erase these things, and erase where it says next, and I'll write this. And so they just alternate, so I can always see what's happening this week and what's happening next week at a glance, and obviously the whole family can see that. We can all just walk through this room and see what's happening when, and this honestly has been the best thing. I made this about 4 years ago, and it's just been in constant use since then, and I would highly recommend this system for staying organized with a family. I deliberately don't carry a planner with me, and I have my calendars online and at home because I tend to say yes in the moment. If somebody asks me to do something or go somewhere, I guess I'm a bit of a pleaser, and I say yes in the moment. It all sounds like a good idea. And then I'll go home and I'll realize, actually I've got a lot on that week and this is going to be too much, or I actually really don't want to get involved with this, or it's not going to work for me, and then I have to try and get out of it. So by not carrying a planner with me, I can say to people, I don't have my diary with me, can I get back to you on that? Then I go home, I think about it, I look at what else I've got on, and I make a proper decision than when I'm in the moment and people are like waiting for an answer, because then it's just going to be yes, and it may be to my detriment. Now in terms of remembering things, you obviously have to look at your calendar, and sometimes I'll be like outside in the garden and painting something and listening to my audiobook and lose track of time. So this is why I set alarms on my iPhone. So let's say I have a haircut at 11 a.m. and I'm outside getting a bit of painting done on the garage wall, because that's never ending, the garage is taking forever. I'm going to lose track of time and forget my hair appointment. So like 15 minutes before, my phone will send an alarm and it will say haircut, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I need to go in and get cleaned up because I need to go to that. So that's really helpful, is to set little alarms. Now I went through a phase where I was forgetting to take my meds every day, so I set an alarm for about 9:45 in the morning saying, have you taken your meds? And I use my alarms for all kinds of things. That's really handy to me to be reminded of things. I've got an alarm on Sunday night, put the bins out, because you know, Monday morning you see the bin truck and it's like, oh, put the bins out. So using alarms to remind me of things that are on my calendar is really helpful as well. Okay, let's talk about to-do lists. I used to think you made a to-do list. Like it was a single list you make and then you check everything off, and then like your to-do list is done and you make a new one. Like, how naive is that? That's not how life works. There's constantly things you're checking off and constantly things that you're putting on. So this is what I use. I buy these notepads just at the grocery store. I like the one with the spiral binding at the top, because then it doesn't get in the way. Like if it's on the side, it gets in the way, like when you're writing, like if the spiral is there, yeah. So I like it at the top so it doesn't get in the way of my hand when I'm writing. And what I do is I will write on there all the things I need to do, and then as I do them, I cross them off with this dark pink highlighter. If they're urgent and I need to do them like now, I put a star next to them. Hopefully that's far enough away that you can't read everything on my list. Yeah, I'll put a star, so then when I look at my to-do list, I'm like, those are the things I need to do first. When I reach the bottom, I will turn to a new page and write down everything that hasn't been crossed off and start again. Yeah, there have been occasions where I've had to go on to 2 pages because there was that much to do. But then it's time to reassess and be like, how much of this actually do I need to do now? Or can I leave it off my to-do list and get to it another time? Because you can start to get a bit overwhelmed when that happens. Ask me how I know. So if I have a week where there's a lot that I need to get done, but on specific days, I have appointments, or it may be a rare day that I'm actually all alone that day and there's certain tasks I need to accomplish during that time, or for example, if I'm baking for an event, I don't want to do that too far in advance, then I use this weekly goals pad. I don't know if you can see that, my camera's not going to focus. But basically it has the date, my goals. You can have like 3 main goals if you want. So there's a section for weekly goals, something that has to be done that week. And then there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, rewards and notes. So I will use this to, on each day, write, this is what I need to get done on that day. So I don't use this all the time, but it's really handy when I need to plan my week and pick certain tasks to be done on certain days. Then I do that. I also use this frame that's on my fridge. It's an 8x10 frame that I got from Kmart, and I've just stuck it to the fridge with poster putty. And the glass, I've put a piece of scrapbooking paper behind, and the glass is a handy place to write with a dry erase marker. So often I'll choose what are the goals that I want to accomplish today, and it might be like, I don't know, plant the hosta that I bought, put away all the laundry, and it might be like I need to bake cupcakes for somebody. So those are my goals for the day, and I can keep focused and remember them. I also use this to leave notes for my family, or maybe a scripture that I want to look at throughout the day, or whatever other kind of notes. But it's a really handy place to just keep notes and keep focused and remember things. It also helps if I tell a friend, this is what I want to get done today, and then check in with them at the end of the day. So I might flick a text to my friend Carly and be like, these are my goals for the day. And it just kind of helps me feel accountable and keep me on track when I start like looking at my to-do list and getting distracted by other things. No, I need to focus on the maybe 3 things that I picked that I had to get done that day. And there may not be anything with a deadline, they're just maybe things that I want to get done and I want to accomplish them, so that's what I've chosen to work on today. So I don't carry my to-do list with me all the time. So if I'm out and about and I think of something that I need to put on my to-do list, then I will email myself a note, or I will phone home and leave a message on the answering machine. And then when I get home, I'll be like, oh, I need to put that in the calendar, or oh, I need to put that onto my to-do list, and then I organize it then. Another thing that helps me to stay organized is to have routines. And they're not like minute by minute strict schedules, but it's certain things get done at certain times and that becomes a habit. So in the evening, I will clean up the kitchen after dinner. I will look what is on the calendar for tomorrow. If there's something big and solid that I need to take out the freezer, like a roast that needs more time to defrost, I will take it out the night before. I like to put on a load of washing at night. My washing machine has a timer, so I can set the timer delay for 12 hours. So if I put it on at 7 p.m, I know that the wash is only going to start at 7 a.m. So by the time I'm ready to deal with it at 8 a.m. I've already done a load of washing. So then my morning routine will be things like check what's for dinner that night, hang up the load of washing, or if I haven't put one on the night before, then put on a load of washing, just to kind of keep things running smoothly. I like to do a load of laundry every single day, so then that's not like a huge backlog of laundry that I have to deal with. I just put one on, it's an hour in the wash, hang it up, and then probably fold and put away the previous day's washing that I've pulled in the evening. Another thing that I find really helpful in being organized is to batch things. If you are already making school lunch, just make the whole week's worth and stick them in the freezer. My friend Jess will make like 10 ham and cheese rolls, wrap them and freeze them. She's got like 2 weeks of school lunches for her daughter done then, and it doesn't take any more time. In fact, it takes more time to get everything out, make the lunch and put it away, because the getting out and putting it away, you're going to do that every single day. The making the lunch will take the same amount of time. If you make one, it's going to take, I don't know, 1 minute. If you make 10, it's going to take 10 minutes. But if you only have to get everything out and put it away once and just do a whole batch in one go, like how much more convenient is that than having to repeat that task every single day? So batch things like making school lunches, or if you're cooking, just cook twice as much, and then you've got freezer meals, and those days that are really busy and you're really tired, you don't want to have to cook, you can pull a nutritious meal out of the freezer that you've already cooked before. If you find that you make a smoothie every single day and you get out the frozen berries and you chop up a banana and you get out the, I don't know, coconut or protein powder, whatever you put into your smoothie, just get everything out once, put them into baggies, chop your banana, put your berries, put your protein powder, whatever, seal the baggie and put it in the freezer, and then every day when you want to make your smoothie, you just pull one out of the freezer. So batching things and just doing all the prep work and the put away work once and getting everything done in one go is so much more efficient, and you feel really organized and kind of like you have your life together. If something comes up and you're really busy and you get home late, but you can still pull out a nutritious meal and not have to cook, like that just makes you feel like you're winning at life. Okay, talking about documents, I use the Notes app on my phone to obviously make notes. I have the Reminders app, I think that just comes standard on the iPhone, and I have different lists on there. So every time I go to the hardware store, you know, I can pull up the hardware store list and think, what were the things that I needed to get here? Because some things obviously aren't urgent and you're like, oh, next time I'm there I need to pick up whatever, or next time I go into town I need to pick up whatever. So I have a list of the hardware store things we need to get. I have a list of the things I need to pick up at the dollar store when we go there, because that'll just be like small items that are usually not urgent. I also use the actual Notes app to keep notes of, like if I'm out and I'm really thinking about a vlog or like a video that I want to do, or a blog post, I can put the notes into there. If I have measurements like curtains for Noah's room, I will put that measurement in there. So then if I'm in town and I see curtains on sale, then I can just go, oh gee, do they have curtains that are suitable, and whip out those measurements, and I have them in my notes with me. I also use Word documents to make procedures lists, and by that I mean something that I'm going to do often and has a number of steps. I will make a Word document of it so that I don't have to remember all of those steps every single time. So for example, when I used to have my portrait photography business, I would need to make a whole bunch of things happen before my newborn client arrived. I would need to set up the backdrop, I would need to put on the waterproof pad because I had in the past forgotten to do that. I needed to get a heater out, I needed to get my hairdryer out for the white noise, I needed to set up my strobe light and the reflector and all of these things. So I made a list, so each time I needed to set up, I just followed the list. I didn't have to remember all of the things. I also have a packing list. I've talked about that before, I think in a vlog. So anytime we go away, I just print out the packing list and I will cross off items we don't need. So for example, I won't need a raincoat if we're going on a summer's holiday. And I won't need, you know, swimming costumes if I'm going on a winter holiday or whatever. If we're going away, I just cross off the things we don't need. I write in the number of things we do need. So next to underwear, I've got like underwear times, and I'll write in there like 5 days if we're going away for that long or whatever. So I don't have to think of all the things I need to take. I just have to adapt the master packing list each time I pack. Also, each time I go camping, there's certain things we need to remember to take with us. So I've got a camping list, like goods to take, clothes to pack for camping, and food that we usually pack for camping that we've found works well and like doesn't go off and doesn't need refrigeration, whatever. So I've got my master list I refer to each time we do the same thing, so I don't have to remember everything every single time. Those are just a few of the tips that I can think of offhand for how I stay organized. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, just leave them below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.